Mitochondrial disease is a genetic disease. It is impacting the mitochondria in each of our cells. The mitochondria is what gives us energy. So you can imagine if you have problems with your mitochondria, it will impact the organs that take the most energy.
So for Calvin, mitochondrial disease has mainly affected his overall muscle tone throughout his body. He also has brain involvement. He has central apnea, where his brain forgets to breathe randomly. So he sleeps on a ventilator at night. He eats by mouth most of the time, but because he can't fast, he also has a G-tube to feed him during the night. Right there, yeah, it's right there.
Multiple members of a family can often be affected with mitochondrial inheritance that can be many, many generations and many branches of a family.
Hi, I'm Heather.
I'm Ryan.
And we are a story of genetics gone wild. So Ryan and I are brother and sister. We inherited the same gene that contributes to mitochondrial disease, and it manifested in my kiddos. And
I manifested it when I was...
When you were in your 30s.
Yeah, in my 30s.
You know, you get this bright, shiny new baby, and I think as soon as we realized that Samantha was sick, things changed for us. I think we started to reset expectations for how our life was going to look.
I started noticing little things were going awry at probably around 4 months, and had several doctors tell me that I was just being overprotective or over-worried as a first-time mom, but I definitely knew something was amiss pretty early.
At birth, a lot of them look fine. There's nothing really telling from the very beginning that there's something wrong. It's as they get older, as they stop meeting certain milestones, you start to think, there might be something going on.
My first patient was in 1990. Even basic diagnostic tests that we take for granted today were really rare. There were maybe 2, maybe 3 laboratories providing any kind of diagnostic testing. Getting them recognized was very difficult.
We're only recently getting to the point where we can accurately diagnose patients.
My son Jacob was born with a mitochondrial disease, and he lived with his mitochondrial disease for 10 years. Being a mom myself of a son who lived with mitochondrial disease, I know how lonely it can be and how overwhelming it can feel. Yes, you can talk to doctors, you can talk to friends, but to really have other people who completely understand what you're going through, I think is priceless. Heather and I, we both had felt very alone in our disease. When her daughter Samantha passed away, that's when we actually decided that we should formalize it, and we created our own nonprofit, Miracles for Mito.
We are a ragtag group of volunteers who just decided that something needed to happen. This takes a village, and I think we're fortunate enough to have a really good village.
Yeah.
For those who don't, we want to try and provide that village.
I think that is one of the powers behind Miracles for Mito. It isn't just us giving to families, it has become a give and take.
We've been blessed by many things with Miracles for Mito helping us. We have a wheelchair van, a stair lift, and some nights out, which were so needed. We love the Broncos, and getting to go with the help from Miracles for Mito last year was pretty exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really make sure that, yes, the support meetings are education and support for the parents, but at the same time we do want our kids to have a blast. We usually have a Halloween party in the fall, and we usually do something around Easter in the spring.
What do you like about going to the Mito meetings? And you like to see the other kids, huh? Yeah, you like to see the other kids that have mitochondrial disease like you. You always tell me, they're just like me, Mom. Huh? Yeah, so it's nice for him to also be able to connect with other kids that are just like you.
Samantha was still alive when we decided to do this bike ride. For some reason, it got lodged in my head that I had to do this ride. We made it through the mountains, but the next year, right before the ride, she had passed away. And so it became more of a memorial ride for me. The money that we've raised from Summits for Samantha keeps that clinic running. And without that, there'd be no research clinic in Colorado. We really felt like our families needed something here in Colorado, that if you want to go to a support group meeting, that you can actually drive there. You know the people that you're working with, you can see a name to a face.
I can certainly see in a number of different conditions where there are things you can work on, but if you have no resources, it's not going to happen. And if Miracles for Mito wasn't there, it wouldn't happen.
I think our clinic will continue to grow. We have probably been growing by 20 to 30% a year for the last few years. We're reaching more patients. We are more accurately diagnosing patients. In the world of rare diseases, you have to rely on the expertise of others, and it has to be a collaborative enterprise. Serendipity only happens when you really immerse yourself in something, and when you truly understand it deeply and spend time thinking about it every day. And when you have a group of people together who are all working on the same thing, but coming from different viewpoints, that's when the serendipity happens.
I think that is a very, very unique grassroots effort that by simply biking, we are able to make sure that we have local mitochondrial research right here.
How it's grown is exponentially. It started with a few moms in a living room couch. We were literally told when he was a year and a half to take him home and good luck and we're sorry. Having drugs come onto the market now and trials is amazing.
When I think about what our next journey is and how we support these families, this whole group of adults that have an adult onset mitochondrial disease is new to us and devastating. Ryan had a life that was working quite well. He has 3 little guys that he has to look after as well, and so I woke up and my entire life was about Samantha. Ryan can't wake up and have his entire life be about him. Yeah. I think what Ryan does a great job of is he still lives a joyful life, trying to help these adults find a new way to rewire.
A new normal.
A new normal. Yeah.
I think,
You guys give it a face. I love being with the families and the children, and we spend hours in a lab. You provide, to me at least, a reason why I do it.
A teenager, it's a big milestone. Lee's disease, the average life expectancy is 6.
Kel, what's your favorite thing to do in the whole wide world?
Play with your goats? Right now it's definitely play with the baby goats.
This fundraiser is what makes us being able to provide financial grants to our families, send parents to our national conference. We can pay for meals in the hospital, pay for our supplements, provide support meetings and education, respite nights. So by simply being here, bidding on the items that we have, drinking and have a good time, you do support Miracles for Mito.
Things really feel different recently. There's really a sense of optimism in the mitochondrial research community.
Cal, you're awesome. You're our Mito warrior.
Are you tough?
You are.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Your mom is pretty awesome too.
You think? Yeah. Say thank you, Heather.